Hi, everybody. Today, Women Inspiring Network is going to be going live with Shwetas, who has 21,000 influencers on her Instagram. Let me tell you a bit about Women Inspiring Network. We are working towards powering up women with information. It's a network and it creates ecosystem for women to thrive, lead, and create. So I'm going to be asking Shwets to be joining us, and she can tell us a little bit more about our topic, how she became a super mom during COVID. So, Shwets, I'm just going to be waiting. Maybe she's speaking there. So, we are also going to be building a lot of content and communities to inform and inspire. Millennials, consumer. I'm just waiting for Shwets to join us. Shweta is her name.
Hi,
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 Stuti, how are
Shweta.
you?
Good, good. So, I was just telling all our viewers a bit about Win and how we
Yes,
conceptualize the winning lockdown series. So, the whole
of
idea
course.
for us to create the winning lockdown series during COVID is how we'll be getting positive stories about 100 women across
Yeah,
demographics and how they beat the lockdown blues and stayed positive. It's like a
true,
movement. And we're so
correct.
glad to have you, Shwets, with us because today, our voices, which everybody is going to log on to those videos and see. We have a 80-year-old grandmother to a celebrity to a mommy influencer like you, business leader, young professional, and they've all talked about what kept them positive. This has been one
Mhm.
of the most stressful time which everybody has seen in their country, and
Of
though it's
course.
created a pain for everyone, for the women it's played out very differently. They've juggled
True.
double shifts, different
I see.
jobs, multiple roles,
Yeah,
handling work, handling kids. So we
true.
today have stories from media professionals, home bakers, entrepreneurs, psychologists, bankers, yoga, fitness enthusiasts, all sharing their stories with us. And
True.
now a little bit about Shwets. I mean, I'll call her Shweta, but Shwets is her login name on
So
Instagram.
my
And
login, yeah, so that account name is Shivtas because it's the amalgamation of two. And of course, you can call me Shwets. That's the, most of friends call me, but my name is Shweta, of course. So yeah,
yeah, so yes, so it is actually a blog of Shweta and little Shivin, and
yeah,
it's a space about motherhood, child development, toddler learning, reviews and choices, and positive living. So,
of course.
I'm just going to jump into it, Shweta. And today, of course, our topic is how has COVID made me a super mom? So it especially goes for you. So tell us a bit about your journey and what your winning strategy in life has been.
So my journey actually, I was a marketing professional. I've worked with MNCs and in a marketing department and branding for 10 years and heading a team of like 25 managers and, traveling at least 15 days a month. But when I conceived and I got pregnant, obviously my pregnancy was a little difficult. So I took a break from my work, like the corporate life. And I thought, okay, I have to like just be with this, with my child and pay full attention to my pregnancy. And that's when the gap initiated. But of course, being a working lady for 10 years, I was missing my work. And I have a hobby of, I love photography. So I started, capturing moments of my pregnancy, day-to-day life. And of course, when the baby was there, I was started capturing his own journey. And I used Instagram as an platform there to, kind of escape from my new mom challenges and concerns, honestly, because that was a space where I could relate and, meet other new moms. And eventually, my photography was quite impressive to few brands which they picked up. And being a marketing professional back in my mind and of course my soul, I packaged my work to them in a way that they were amused to get the quality of work in terms of images because Instagram was mainly about images. The entire
Yeah.
marketing is focused the product images and everything. And then the concept of flat lays was getting just initiated at by that time, and I gave them good product shoots and everything, wrapped in a nice captions and package, and promoted it nicely. So that's when I understood the entire, how from a BTL marketing, the shift is coming to a social media marketing. I could
Right.
gauge that. And I thought that being a marketing person, why not? I mean, I was
Why
doing
not do
events.
this?
Yeah. So, and again, at a disposable, sort of a thing at your own will, that, whenever you have time, you can do it, or you can just take a chill pill, not doing any work. So I find it that convenience was very much in favor of a new mom.
Yeah.
So I could take my own time and everything, work on my deadlines and timelines according to my own schedule. So that's how my Instagram and influencer marketing journey started. And I was seeing internationally, the bloggers were doing so good. I mean, they were paid, huge amount, because that's when it's initiated nicely there. So my strategy, I would say the winning strategy, was that just to be consistent, okay, and not really looking at the failures or little bit disappointments if the brand is not replying or taking a time, or the PR agency is not being that friendly enough, or maybe a agency is not giving you that, reducing the cost but not really giving you the kind of deliverables what you're looking at. So I was like, okay, let's be patient, work,
Patient.
build good PR. So patience was one thing, and consistency. And you need to
That
believe
is
in
what
your
you've done.
content.
So,
Yeah, you need to believe in yourself.
like for us, we started Women Inspiring Network somewhat of last year, but it's actually taken shape during this lockdown. We
Oh,
started
yes.
with our webinar, which we did earlier in April, with
Yeah.
70 speakers, where we had
Wow.
really known names from the designer fraternity, media fraternity, business leaders, you name it, we had it, and we had a really great response. And then, of
Yeah.
course, when we thought about our lockdown series, how can we as women stay positive? So that's why we've
True.
conceptualized the winning lockdown. And
Yeah.
during our webinar, we had an impact of few million people watching us live, because we had a lot of RJs,
Yeah.
Bollywood,
Of course, you
doing
milk
shout
on that
outs.
entire
Yes,
thing.
yes. So,
Yeah.
I feel, for me personally, COVID has been, I feel like the business has been affected with everybody, but it's been like, it's like a level playing field for everybody. And how we reset
Absolutely.
ourselves and keep ourselves
Absolutely.
positive. So I
True,
actually
true.
want to know, like, what during this COVID, what has kept you positive? That one thing which has kept you positive during this lockdown.
I think not planning much has kept me positive. I've not planned anything. I
Okay.
take a day as it comes. Okay, be it my child, be it my husband's work or at my work. If we are in a mood to watch a movie, we will watch a movie. If we are in a mood to discuss or brainstorm on some ideas, we do that. So we take it. There's no much planning happening. I think because this pandemic and the COVID-19, none of us was actually, we were prepared in our life. None of us were
Sure.
prepared. We were going on a regular pace, and it just suddenly bumped us. So I think when we do too much of a planning now, that okay, because honestly, even I don't know what's going to happen in the lockdown 4 version, because like we are not much aware about it. We can do insightful studies of different scholars and the politics and everything, but then I think to keep it as it come, lucid. I think the routine should be very free and lucid. Take it, because living a pandemic is a big thing. I
Yeah.
think being healthy is a big thing. So just be happy and positive. That's the only thing
But
which
are
is
you
in
doing
your
any
control.
yoga, or reading a book, or spending
Trust
time with a
me,
child, which has been
one day
therapeutic?
I think, yeah, so one day I'm like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I'll do this. And one day I'm like, I'm not getting even out of the bed. It's completely mood driven, because
Sure.
especially with the kid also, I don't want to force him with too many activities. He's a 3.5-year-old kid. His work is to play. That's all he should be doing, with various things. It's summer, so be it water, be it creating a mess. I take care of myself, that's for sure. I eat healthy. I'm maintaining my intermittent fasting. That's regularly I've been doing. And I think that's all. But yeah, there are days which is super productive, but there are days which is just easygoing. So I think, being little okay with everything is
Is
keeping me positive.
And so you mentioned your child is 3.5 year old. Even my daughter is 3.5 year old, by the way. So I'm going to be taking some tips from you here.
Sure, sure.
What is your go-to activity with your child, especially during COVID?
See, I think I'm a partner in his all fantasy world, in his imagination world. But there's one go-to activities if I think that he's a little cranky or he's not, like behaving well, or I think there's something at a mess, I give him water in a bowl. Water play in summers are something, I think it is a messy play, but I think he is sorted and he has a big smile on his face. And people
Okay.
have been seeing my stories. He needs every day at some point of the hour in the day a bowl of water, and he'll make fishes and he'll make aquariums and all that. So I'm happy. So water activity in summers, I think, is the best, mood changer for the kids.
Yeah, I know. My daughter loves playing with the water. She loves washing her toys, and and that
Giving them baths
eventually,
and everything.
yes, and
I
and I see her painting. She wants to paint and wants to keep using the water all the time. But what's your take
absolutely.
on what about the online classes or something? Are you like paying attention to that?
Honestly, I tried to, but I think my child is too.
Young.
I mean, he couldn't sit for that half an hour thing, and honestly, he couldn't understand the entire thing. So I tried two classes. I was thinking to probably give it a try again, but I'm not forcing. I am if he's sitting and smiling and listening, it's fine. If he's hesitant and he's going and walking away, I'm not going to do that. So, and homeschooling is something for a toddler or a preschooler. I think is it can easily be done at home with parents. It's something which is very basic thing, and I think all he needs is to play, and that play needs to be integrated with a lot of learning, in that sense. I honestly am not a big fan of these online thing. I
Classes.
somehow I think it didn't work for me and my child. I mean, we are from more of an experiential play wherein we create a mess, be a part of it and then learn. I think that's more effective for
And
us.
any other activity would you like to recommend apart from water, which you think would
I
be
think, yeah, I think painting is one thing which I've been doing a lot, and with Shiven, I've been doing a lot of block, creating like cities, and let's make a jungle and let's make. So wherein there's a lot of ecosystem coming in different ecosystem which he understands, and obviously it depends on his mood. Role playing is another activity. My house at times is in hospital. My house is at times is a restaurant. So role playing is something every day there is some. I mean, today he said that I'm a Wonder Woman. Yesterday he was calling me a witch. So I have no idea. So he was
yeah.
calling me, thank you, witch. I said,
Yeah.
okay.
So I remember
So
for Mother's Day we had baked a cake and my daughter put Nutella on it and gems. So like she wanted to like decorate it. So that's
uh,
something which they've
that's
enjoyed.
amazing. Yeah, so cooking, I mean, whenever I'm cooking, so Shivan is sitting on the slab and, he's just watching it all, and we're saying this potato goes in, then this is, so it all that flares comes in. It's very exciting for kids to watch all this. But yeah, being very careful about that. So yeah, I mean, cooking is also, so honestly, Stuti, it's a mood, I go by the mood of my child. If he's,
Sure.
my work gets hampered, it does get hampered because if I'm just working, then I'm not able to give him that time, and because he can't go and meet his friends, he can't go out in the park. So that thing is, a mess. And if I'm already always working, I don't want that thing to be that he's cranky and watching TV or a screen all the time. So I really don't want to do that. So I go with whatever he's in a mood to. If we are in an Avenger mood, so we are the Avenger team. If he's in a cooking mood, in a chef mood, so we are. If we are, the restaurant games and all that. So it goes by that.
And tell me, how do you divide your time between your work and child?
Yeah, so it's all time management. I'm sure that that's the same way you've been doing it. I think uh, early mornings are sometime like I extract at least 2 to 3 hours early morning to work, and then whenever he's taking a nap, and of course, if there are something which is important, and I really have to go by the timelines and deadlines. So I ask my husband to just take care of him and play with him, whatever, and so in a day I get at least like 4 to 5 hours of work, which I think is decent as of now to
So
probably
is
cope
it
with
four,
the
five hours of
time.
work during lockdown, or even when there was no lockdown, then you were able to?
No, so when no no so when there were no lockdown, the timeline was little bit more because there was a schedule for the child. He's going to the school and then coming back all tied up, and so that time it was more productive, of
Yeah.
course, in terms of the duration of the time. But I think uh, that's not in our control right
Yeah.
now. But yes,
Yeah.
I think whenever he's taking a nap, I make sure that everything is done by that time, and I'm just focusing on my work. If I have to edit my pictures, I'm doing that. If there's some photo shoot lined up, like we're just doing some virtual shoots, that I'll do. And if there's some content creation, if I think that there's a video needs to go for a brand or approvals or mails or whatever it is, so morning and then the nap time, that's all I have. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we
But
can balance it
are
out.
you also following a schedule right now on your child, or it's a bit flexible?
It's quite flexible, though I haven't list down activities that I need to follow in terms of broadly, but not very time specific. It's a broader activity which I've laid for Shivan, that okay, I have to ensure that he sits for half an hour and do scribbling.
Okay.
He do a little bit. He listens to music and dance. That's something I really ensure that he does, because uh, right now what's happening is because there's no physical exercise or physical activities happening for the kids, so they don't feel lethargic and they don't go bed on time. So I
Yeah.
feel that physical running around and all that stuff is really important. So
Yeah.
I am those activities, I'm just dividing that okay, he has to do that, otherwise he'll not sleep on time. Or
Yes.
he has not done the scribbling part, or he has not done he has not, I mean, like story, like before going to bed there's a story time which I've been doing it for longest of my time. So there's one story which we tell, we enact and all that stuff. So that is maintained, but not like at a very fussy and a very stringent timeline, I would say, for a 3.5-year-old kid. So yeah.
Yeah. And so we, of course, as you know, we have Cornitos as our hamper
Yes.
partner, and we would
Yes.
love, some feedback from, Shweta's audience and our audience. If someone can tell us how they use Cornitos and probably send us a message, Cornitos are
Yeah.
these nachos brand. So that will be really great. But I would like to ask Shweta if any recipe she's done with cornitos and which she's enjoyed. Uh, you
Yes,
know,
there is. I love. I mean, there are very rare, very few. I would say, things I really relish and enjoy. So cornitos is one, and there's one recipe which I have actually, uh, replicated from one of my friend, which was like the cornitos, the nachos, and then the with bell peppers, baked beans, topping it up with all of that and with some olives. And trust me, it's an amazing snack because you're getting that crunch of the, those cornitos, and then obviously a little bit health in terms of the bell peppers and the baked beans and all of the masala which you got, like a salt and a pepper and everything. It tastes yum. So that's one thing. And trust me, all of my friends know about this recipe. They have
oh,
tasted it whenever they are here. So, and my husband is a big fan of that. So yeah,
so
that's
that
something I really,
sounds
really
yummy.
do
Maybe
that.
we should give some feedback to cornitos to incorporate that. And hopefully, we have
Yeah,
some interesting recipes which everybody's created from
I am going to
cornitos
do that
coming to us.
actually. Yeah, I'm
So
gonna do that next week. Let me do a video on that.
and in fact, so with the Women Inspiring Network, Shweta, what we realized, just one of these lady who has a gaming, she started like a gaming company, and she reached out to us on the app, talking about how women can sort of take over gaming professionally. So
Okay.
we've been coming across like how she's the first women poker in India. So that was also interesting. We also got another message from someone who's making herbal masks, this today. So we
Wow.
really coming out with many inspiring stories.
Inspiring.
And
Yeah.
even to your viewers, if anyone has an inspiring story or a positive story which they've done and they can share with us a video, what kept them positive, that would be really great for us. um, and
That's a great job. I mean, kudos to your team, for conceptualizing such an positive idea, I would say, and then spreading it across and, collectively getting everything on one platform. It's an amazing thing. And as in memory and as in, obviously spreading this message out and, so many other, as an audience, we will be getting inspired by these women. So it's an amazing job, Stuti.
yes, thank you so much. Would you also like to throw some light on your content creation? How do you create content? And I believe photography is also your passion. So would you like to
Yeah.
throw some light for our viewers? Like how, if
Yeah.
someone wants to make a career of an influencer such as yours, what does it take? What are the steps they should follow, and how can they
Yeah.
create a career in your profession?
I think being an influencer now, because I would say that we were like the first generation of the, influencers who accidentally become an influencer, because by the time the entire uh, industry was not that structured and organized. Now it has become more organized and structured, the entire industry. But I think being an influencer, content is the topmost thing. Of course, when I say content, it's the photography, it's the photos, it's the display plus what you talk about it. So it's the both the caption when you say and the obviously the photo. I would suggest that the two main things to be is always to be authentic, that whatever your lifestyle is, people get influenced about the kind of person you are, the kind of values you brought into that entire, concept of your living. So authenticity is very important. If you want to be an influencer, you need to be authentic. You cannot, just uh, copy or replicate somebody else's lifestyle. That's something
Sure.
which will somewhere down the line will affect your work or you. That growth will not be there. Second is mindfulness of a content is very important. Just because somebody else is doing, don't do that. It needs
Sure.
to be your cup of tea. It's need to be your, part of your own lifestyle. So that's very important. I've been seeing, especially in the lockdown time, if you've built an audience, so your audience love your work. The audience love the values which you've been giving, out in social media. Now, just suddenly, if something is viral, it doesn't need that you need to do that or you need to be a part of. If it's not your cup of tea, if something it doesn't fit your niche or probably your profile or your working style or your personality. So mindfulness is very important, to ensure that what kind of content goes out from your I always say that Instagram account for an influencer is a personality which goes out in the market. So that's very important, being authentic, being real, whatever it is, showcase that. So I think rest, be consistent, have patience, just keep working. It will, and most importantly, keep innovating. Social
Sure.
media is all about innovation. So if something is not working out, put that under the carpet, work something else around. It's all about trends. It's about, you need to be creator.
Re-strategizing yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely. You have to strategize. You have to start creating content. You have to be sensitive enough what's going around in, outside world. So you need to be sensitive towards your kind of content you create or, whatever innovations you're doing. So that kind of little filtrations are important in terms of bring it out. And don't go by the numbers. Okay, 21,000, 50,000 followers. Numbers will grow eventually. It cannot be done over a night. You know, your work is important, your consistency is important, your ideas are important. So focus
Sure.
on those kind of things than just, running behind the numbers, I would say.
Sure. In fact, that's quite, very useful tip which you've given all our viewers if they want to be influencers. When did you actually start your Instagram account? Like, when did you
I
decide
think
to be?
2 years.
Which,
2 years.
okay, that's been a great response. So
Yeah.
now we reaching the end of our session. So would you like to give
Yes.
us like a winning the lockdown message? Uh,
Oh, I would say eat well, sleep well, and enjoy the time. Be positive. That's what is under your control. So you need to take rest. You need to eat good food, keep yourself healthy. Obviously, follow all the preventions, and keep your mental health intact. And that's very important, I would say. So
yeah.
rest, sleep, very basics, but I think that's the only way you can win the lockdown because those factors are under your control.
Yeah.
Rest, nothing is your control.
Control. In fact, with my team, we make it a habit of doing a Zoom call every day at 10:30. We all follow a schedule, getting up at the same time. We all
That's
try,
amazing.
we all try. Today we had like a book reading session. So we do different
Wow.
things. Next Friday, we're planning to do Zumba. And I make it a point to exercise.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I make it a point to exercise daily. So I dance with my daughter in front of the mirror for
Yeah,
half an hour. So,
that's
these
good.
are the
That's
things which
amazing.
keep us positive. And, just think
Yes.
that how can we all reset because everybody in the world is affected. So we all just need to re-strategize and look at businesses
True.
differently.
True.
So,
True. True.
thank you so much for joining us. And I would like all the viewers to request us, please do follow us on Women Inspiring
Yes.
Network because, it's taken shape during this lockdown. And we would love to grow with you and Shweta's audience and hope to receive some videos from all of you, like a 1 minute video on how to keep ourselves positive during lockdown. So,
True.
thank you
True. I'm
so
gonna put
much.
it across.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Shweta, for joining us. And it was a pleasure talking to you.
Same
And
here,
I
Stuti. Same
definitely
here.
look forward to connecting with you and exchanging stories about our children together.
Sure. I would love to work with you in all capabilities and possibilities I could work. And again, kudos to you and your team for bringing out such amazing concepts and spreading positivity and inspiring so many women out there.
Yeah. And thanks to Cornitos, which has been
Yes,
our
thank you
hamper
so
partner.
much.
Yes. And we are, of course, also thinking digitally on how to re strategize ourselves. But thank you so much once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye everyone. Thank you so
Bye bye.
much.